Good evening, everyone. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, everyone here. Can I acknowledge your presence? Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. You're welcome to this wonderful event happening live here on StreamYard, the Epic Book Launch by the Ngozi. Thank you so much for joining in. If you're here, if you're streaming live, I believe we can all hear and see me. Okay. So now it's okay right now. All right. Okay. So without further ado, we proceed now. And also, thank you very much for joining this wonderful occasion. Thank you very much for joining this wonderful event. It's really nice having you all right here in our midst. Really an awesome day, and it's been a wonderful day, wonderful season right here in this part of the world. And I'd like to know where each and every one of us is actually talking from. So you can please send your comments or send your responses to the chat session and the comment section. So if you're live right now, please kindly say hi, drop a hi or a hello in the comment section. Stefan Rajan, hello. Thank you for joining us. If you're live, please kindly say hi or say hello. Okay. All right. Keep coming. Keep coming. Okay. Let me take the time on this.
Hello guys, how are you doing? Good evening everybody. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. I'm going to get back our hosts. Guys, you're welcome. Just keep sharing so that other people can join. Guests are ready. Everybody is set, and I am ready. I want to say a very big thank you to you guys. I'll now add my host so that the um, event can continue. We're having a bit of technical issues, network problems, but we're going to continue now, okay? All right. Hello, Walter. You're good, right?
Okay, thank you so
All
much.
right.
Yeah,
All right.
very
All
appreciate
right. Well done.
it. Okay,
Yeah,
so
well done. So I'll just allow you
next
now,
one,
right? All right.
please. Thank you very much. I thank you so much, Blessing God. Okay, so thank you all for joining us in this wonderful session. I believe many people the artisans of caring. We are built on integrity and discipline that transcends through every generation. Immaculate and unmeetable, we are the source of hope to anyone, and the foundation for building a happy world. Together we shall stand, no peace or grace, no peace or caring, an epitome of humility and service. We are specially ordained for this vocation. Yes, I'm proud to be a nurse. From near and far, we have gathered with one goal to uphold the name of the profession and for neatness and splendor. You for understanding, our for responsiveness, as selfless service, I innovative and initiative, and for nobility, G for gentleness and love, no peace or grace, no peace or caring, an epitome of humility and service. We are specially ordained for this vocation. Yes, I'm proud to be a nurse. All right, thank you very, very much. Thank you wonderfully much, and thank you beautifully much for joining us in this wonderful occasion tonight. Okay, so I believe we are all active now. We can hear and we can see me. Okay, right here on StreamYard. So if you're active, please don't forget to always leave your comments in the comment section. Our chief launcher will be here with us anytime soon, and of course, most of us will be familiarized with the nursing Ngozi, who of course has been a very wonderful person in the profession. So wherever you're viewing from, thank you very much for joining us in this wonderful session. Where we're all viewing from, where you're watching from, kindly let us know in the comment section. Wherever you're viewing from, please indicate. Let's know we're together. Okay. Okay, wherever you're viewing from, thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. You're welcome to this ceremony. Yes, you can see how I'm all dressed. Yes, because it's a program that we have been waiting for, and I'm so excited it's happening right now. If you can hear me, I want someone to help me get some feedback from the audience. Thank you so much. Our viewers on the Facebook, the YouTube, thank you so much for being part of the program. We are so excited. You have made this to come to reality. It's not just our effort, is a collaborated one. So we are so happy to have you around. We are behind schedule. We are so sorry about that. We've been having some issues with the network, but then we'll get started now. Okay. Yeah. While I'm waiting for the guest speakers and the people that should be on the show with me, I just want to say a little about the book and how the journey has actually been. I had the opportunity of being part of this project maybe from the middle when the book was being written, and I let me say I saw far into the future of that book. I saw that book as a tool that everyone, nurses, would need to actually step up into the next level. I know we nursing profession is an amazing one with great prospect, but you and I needs to actually empower ourselves to get into that space that is actually meant for us, because I know we can actually do it. And seeing this book, it centers around how we can actually launch into the realm of the extraordinary using the tools that are available to us in these 21st centuries. And I mean, the social media is one important tool that everyone must key into. It's not a time to say, well, I don't like Facebook, I don't like Instagram, I just want to keep reading and just keep, taking care of my patients. This, we are at a time in our profession that we need to, speak up. People need to actually know what we stand for in nursing profession. They need to know what exactly we are standing for. It's high time we redefine ourselves, our profession, showing ourselves as we really are, not people just coming up to say, oh, nurses are like this, nursing profession is like this. We need to actually let them know that we are more than just being nurses, wearing scrubs or wearing the white gown. It's way beyond that. And that book captures everything a nurse and more. You can actually do much more as a nurse, because what actually makes the difference between an ordinary person, an ordinary nurse, and an extraordinary nurse is the impact that she or he is going to make. And I was surprised that when we were actually sharing those amazing content about nursing, people were coming to say, oh, they never knew nursing was this way. Many people never knew that we even have males in nursing. Many people do not even know that nursing goes beyond the clinical setting. But with this few short time that we had on our hands, we've been able to change the narrative to actually let people know that nursing goes beyond just being in the clinical area or administering medications to patients. So today we are going to present to you this masterpiece that I'm so proud that a nurse has written this, and that's the book, A Nurse and More. We are going to be having an amazing conversation today around, what does the future holds for nursing in this 21st century? And we are going to be having two guest speakers to actually come on board and do justice to this beautiful topic. I know you have questions, just like I also had my own question when I was coming into nursing. I must say, nursing was never the dream of any young child, as at the time I came in it was either medicine or law or something else. But then nursing came to me like, this is where you're meant to be, and I struggled with it for a long time. But then today I'm so grateful to God because I am here. And this is where God wants me to be. And on daily basis we define what nursing should be. That people keep asking, you're nurse and you're this intelligent, you're nurse and you're this good. I'm like, are they supposed to be dullards? No, nurses are intelligent. They are one of the most widely read people that we have in our world today. Yes, you might want to argue that, but today I'm going to prove it to you as we bring on board our amazing guests. Just give us 2 minutes while we wait for them. Thank you so much for being part of this amazing program. I'm Omowunmi Fadairo.
Hi guys. Thank you so much for joining in. I really appreciate you joining. I can see your comments and I'm so excited. I can see people from Facebook. I can see people from LinkedIn. I can see my chiefs. I can see a lineup of chiefs already in the comment sections. I am so excited to have you guys on board. Thank you so much. I'm just going to stream some of the comments that I'm seeing here. Thank you so much. And I can also see that my guests are in here and they're ready. Everybody said thank you so much. I can see people from YouTube. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me, Nurse Gertrude. I am so excited to have you in the house. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm going to get the host back so that we can continue. All right, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nurse Ngozi. So I am going to be bringing Nurse Adeshua on board now. Nurse Adeshua is a nurse coach herself. She's an author of two amazing books, and she's the CEO of the pregnancy support organization that is into taking care of women that are pregnant and how to help them to ensure safe delivery. And she has done amazing exploits in this organization. And aside from that, he also has, a platform where she trains nurses, both in writing and speaking, and also to help them become the best nurses they are supposed to be. So she's a woman with many hats. Yes, so she's going to be on board today as we discuss what the future holds for the nursing profession in this 21st century.
Oh, this is fantastic. Wow. No, it's
Thank you
Fadairo
so much.
Omowunmi. It's exciting to have you. Good evening.
Good evening to you.
I've been
I'm so
looking at
happy
you
to.
talking. I've been looking at you talking. I was like, it's so good to see this woman this evening. I'm excited
Really?
to be here.
Thank you so
3 months
much. Thank
ago,
you so
it
much.
was my book launch, and everyone stood up for me when I could not even be there, including
Yeah.
Ngozi. And I was like, I have to be here no matter what. Even if my neck was to fall down, I have to be here. I'm Adesua Oni. I'm excited to be at this book launch, a nurse and more.
Thank
When I met with Nurse Ngozi at the Nurse Refinery, we had been talking about this book for ages. Like, I'm excited that it's finally. There was a day I was like, sis, how far with this your book now? I was like, don't worry, it's still
you.
cooking. There's something I
Thank
want
you
to say.
so
This book
much.
has heart and soul. This book has heart and soul. And really, when it was at the pre-order stage, I was trying to encourage some nurses to get this. I was like, come first. Even if there is nothing inside the book, even if it's just one page that is inside the book, you must buy the book. As in, because really, if you find a nurse of her caliber, if you have met her once, you would know that buying that book as is non-negotiable. Actually, if you have met her online, if you have read her post on LinkedIn or Facebook, anyhow you have met her, it's definitely going to be an extraordinary. She's not all fire, screaming like I do, but she leaves the mark always. And when I read that book, I got to a point that tears wanted to fall from my eyes. Then I remembered a situation where a young nurse in school was trying to raise funds to buy a laptop. And he was like, oh, let's raise funds for me. I need to buy a laptop. And when I related it to Nurse Ngozi's story, I was like, oh, God, really? This is Ozu, as an Ozu in its most, in its simplest form. When I was back, brother, our elder brother had to tell her that as you are going to nursing school, remember your background. I wanted to cry when he said, remember your background. See, this is a book that student nurses should own without batting an eyelid. In fact, as student nurses are getting into the system, it's a book that they should recommend for them to get, as in something that will keep reminding them that keep your eyes on the mark. Because see, I know how PTS was. I know how many of us failed.
Keep
like
focused.
I failed PTS. I was part of people that failed PTS, but after that season, I fired. When I read in her book that number one, she couldn't pay the fees. Man, and then a lecturer had to stand in for her. No, you just have to buy. I'm started launching the book. We started launching, and I'm started launching. No, really, it's really it's a book that everyone should own. Every nurse that's out there that's already gotten her feet on the ground should own this book to be a mentor to other people, to be a mentor to people out there that want to get into the system, because getting in was hard for her, staying there was hard for her, getting out was even considering the fact that she didn't rest. After getting out, she didn't rest. She kept on firing. I had to compare the time she finished nursing school, the time she started nurse refinery, she started working at what's the name of this hospital? Oh, Lily's. And
Lily
the way she has
Hospital.
moved on with her career, there was no special break anywhere. She kept on firing on. There was no time to say, let me rest. As I have read 1,000,000 pages like this, and nothing nearly broke my head.
Thank you
She has
very
been an
much.
exceptional student from day one. As in, I was like, you passed PTS and you're the first, like you're the first position. Oh my God. See, if you want her to be your mentor, just buy a book. See, I'll be a PA to be opening door for people and be closing it. Anybody that wants to say, hey, not come my mentor, this is not about mouth mentor. Any student knows should be able to raise. Yes, you should be able to raise it. And then if you're in the system already, you should be an encouragement to others. Sincerely, you should be an encouragement to others that, okay, buy this book. I want to gift you with this book. I know you just want to get into the nursing school. I know you are fresh in nursing school. I know you are in PTS. You know, even if, like her elder brother, talk to her. If there was nobody to talk to you and you are in nursing school or you are just about to get into nursing school, it's the book you should own. Like, own it and read it and let it sink into your system, because there's a lot of life. A lot. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you very much. So we are expecting our second guest. I don't know if can somebody check for me. Can I get a feedback? Let me read his bio for us. See, we have a very important guest on board today. It's a privilege to meet him some years back, just about 2 or 3 years now. When I got to meet him, it was a program organized by one of our foremost nursing influencers. Yes, and that's Mr. Prince Will and Mr. Pigeon too. I think they both organized that program together and brought Nurse Obinna Eze on board. It was such an amazing time learning from his story and the impact. He didn't wait until he was, already 20 years in the profession. Even as he was, growing in the profession, he saw the need in his environment and he stepped right into it. This is such an inspiration for many young people that out there. So Mr. Obinna Victor Eze is a registered nurse and a global health advocate. He's an Amazon's best-selling author. Yes, an international speaker and founder of the 360-degree Health Network, an organization that bridges the gap in healthcare delivery to local communities in Nigeria through medical outreaches and healthcare services, financing, and then they also engage the government also through advocacy and dialogue to formulate policies and health initiatives that can reach the people at the grassroots level. Obinna actually served as a lecturer and as an associate dean of Ebonyi State College of Nursing Science in 2021 before joining the second largest single player healthcare system in the world. Yes, I'm so happy to be reading this bio. Yeah. He's presently working with the biggest national health service trust in the United Kingdom, and a lot of Mr. Obinna is actually a global figure, and I'm so happy to have him on board today to be, to be part of this conversation. The 21st century nurse, what the future holds. Thank you very much. Please stay tuned. Yes, we actually have issues with the network, but I'm so sure he's going to join us very soon. Please, I want you to stay tuned because it's going to be an amazing conversation today. The 21st century nurse, what does the future hold? I know you might have a lot of questions. Times are changing. I mean, nursing is no longer about attending to patients, giving injection, like many people actually think, even up to date. And then we have been able to redefine the profession and expand our tentacles, so to say. We have nurses playing the roles of researchers. We have nurses at the policy making tables. We have nursing at different spheres of life. We have them as authors, as writers. We have nurses at the school level as lecturers. We even have some that are serving even in. So in the 21st century, what are the things that we should look out for? What are the skills that we need to actually hone for us to fit into this economy? Yes, the should I call it the information and technology economy, times where it's not just about what you can really offer when it comes to your day-to-day activities. How about the role you can play in deploying technology, yes, to actually provide healthcare to people? How about how you want to ensure that healthcare reaches the people at the grassroots level? How do you want to ensure that even in this pandemic era, the post-pandemic era, in fact, we can even say we are even still in we are still experiencing the pandemic itself. So in this era, how do you want to ensure as a nurse you want to craft methods to actually improve the aseptic techniques, to ensure that we have limited contacts with patients, maybe through the use of the telemedicine and a lot of advancement in technology. Look what about the artificial intelligence and so many new developments that we are having today in the 21st century. What does the future hold for nurses? Maybe some people are already scared that, oh, maybe in like 2 or 5 years times now, maybe in some well-developed countries will not even need nurses any longer. Maybe we'll start having the robot taking over the total care. Are there some questions you're having on your mind concerning the recent development in technology? And then even for the fact that we are operating an information economy edge, it's enough that we've kept ourselves in the clinic working. No, we have to work, but at the same time we need to let the people know what we are actually saying. So I want to know if Nurse Adeshiwa is on board to actually lend a voice to this. I see the beautiful things that she's doing concerning the anti-quackery move, and it's it's plausible. Nurses, we actually have to rise to this task and let people know that it's not about having, because before I actually complete that statement, many people have this idea that they go to quacks because healthcare is not accessible, and we're at a time where we're really fighting so hard to ensure that we deliver on. But then nurses are in the forefront of this task. We are really fighting hard. But then if we leave the work to the ends of the quacks, and then with the excuses that, oh, people can easily access them because the public feel them, if we leave this to them, we are indirectly short-changing ourselves, and we are going to delay our fulfillment of this goal, the good health and well-being. Maternal and child mortality is on the increase, even with the fact that there are methods, there are a lot of tools that are available to ensure that we work together and reduce this mortality rate. So what does this 21st century hold for nurses? What are the roles we should play? How should we play these roles? How should we come in so that we are able to achieve the sustainable development goal 3, at the same time deploy the available technology to ensure that we meet this goal? So I want my people at on the YouTube, on the Facebook. If you have any comment, you have any question, or you want to say something, you can drop it there. We'll be there to read it. Thank you very much. Is Nasadeshwa up now? Okay, she's up. I'm so excited to have her on board. Thank you, Nosim Emanuela. I can see your comment. Thank you so much. Okay, hopefully we'll get her on board very soon. Yeah, but okay, nurses are changing the narratives, and it's not business as usual. Thank you so much. It's not business as usual. 2 years ago, that was 2019 thereabout. I love nursing. Actually, I really want to serve, but I understand the fact that it goes beyond that clinical setting. There's no way people can actually see what we're doing without we showing up on the internet and letting them know, number one, what we're doing. And at the same time, we're going to reduce the burden of healthcare if we actually give the people the right information. There were times we say, let us not let them, the information might be too much for them. We are at a time where even your patient that is right there before you in the hospital, and she can keep pressing and checking everything you're saying. She's actually checking to be sure you're saying the right thing. So it's not a time to actually wait and not be informed. Number one, we have to be informed. We have to keep with the pace of the advancements in technology and even in the information available to people. We have to be in control. Yes, if the information is not coming from us as nurses who are learned, then we are not doing the right thing. Look at so many let me say misconceptions or myths that are just flying all around. We are in the position to actually rise up to this task and let people know what the right thing is. Come to think of the recent opera we had on the internet when a young lady dressed in lab coat gave into a TV interview, and she just kept on giving confidence. I want to ask, are there no nurses in that environment? Are there no nurses that can even as the interview is going on, we'll just go and do something about it and give? But within a short time, I saw senses for those TV organization, not to think of, you and I. Wow, I'm so happy to have Mr. Obinna Victor Eze. I'm super excited to have
Hello,
read your
guys.
bio one and to be seeing you now face to face. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good evening. How are you guys doing?
Yes, we are very fine. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, I'm happy to be on the show. It's
Thank you,
actually
sir.
a very huge honor.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Sir, we were already talking about the topic, the 21st century nurse. What does the future hold? We know we're at a time that more than ever before, nurses have to rise. Number one, to redefine the profession nursing, and number two, to come together and ensure that we deliver on the Goal 3, Sustainable Development Goal 3, because we know that nurses are the forefront, and then we have to really, really arm ourselves with the right skill, with the right information up to date, so that, because that's how people can really see what we do. There has to be an impact, a visible impact that nurses are really making in our local environment. Because I read your bio, I saw what you did, I watched the presentation you made at that global platform, and really I knew that if our nurses at their own local environment can rise up to the task of ensuring that healthcare is accessible to people at the grassroots with the available technology that is actually affordable and available to them, I feel that we can easily, in no time at all, achieve the sustainable development goal. So I want you to lend your voice to this conversation. What do you have to say as a nurse who has been doing amazing things in this aspect?
Okay, thank you very much. I'm so happy you mentioned about the SDGs. Now, every nurse should know about the SDGs. I'm so happy about the book Ngozi wrote. It's something that just took me back to memory lane on how we all started in the career path and all that. Like
Yes, sir.
her book started by linking how she came into the profession, linking it to her passion, how she was able to use that passion and career instincts to motivate herself to keep pushing forward. She then tried to monetize it and also to
Mhm.
enable it give her that leverage of gaining satisfaction in whatsoever she is doing. It is a tool. The book is a tool that every young nurse who is just coming into the profession, those already in the profession, students should actually get. Now, why did I mention this before trying to answer your question? Ngozi actually spoke about we being digitally savvy. What I mean is having knowledge about digital media, the use of social media, the use of tech, and all that. Now, if as a nurse you can increase your knowledge in that, you are already standing out.
Hmm.
That is how you can leverage on technology as it stands now to improve on your profession. Now, in the 21st century, technology is a big deal now. Now, if you get the opportunity of practicing in more developed nations, you will see that technology is something that has differentiated the Western world from those of us in Africa. All right.
Mhm.
You
Yes,
would
sir.
get a whole lot of culture shock once you get to practice in the Western world. But the issue is our leaders in Africa, in Nigeria, practitioners, it's not as if this technology cannot be made available to us, but it is being knowledgeable about it. You would see a
Hmm.
hospital, for instance, in Nigeria, and you will have a particular equipment or a particular appliance that just one person in the whole of the state knows how to operate it.
Hmm.
It mentioned that every hospital, if you go to the West, every unit have that hospital and they have people operating it. Then if you go to Nigeria, you see that in a state, in a full state, you just have one technician operating that particular machine. You see that it is highly setting us back as a country. Then as a nurse also, I mentioned that you should be knowledgeable about the sustainable development goals. Ngozi in her book, she mentioned about linking the career to your passion. That is one thing I did earlier towards when I was heading into the profession. The profession was there for me, but I had a passion. You understand? I've always wanted to provide help to those in my community. I've always want to come from the medical point of view to render those services because of the challenges I was seeing. Then, then it was the Millennium Development Goals. You know, it was Millennium Development Goals before Sustainable Development Goals. Now,
Yes, yes, sir.
yes. Now, Sustainable Development Goals is actually designed for the 21st century. It will still run till 2030. Now, what I did was I went to the Millennium Development Goals then, and I looked for the aspect of the goal that manages healthcare delivery in local communities, trying to bridge the gap in health inequality and all that. I looked at each of the highlights and now developed a process that would meet to that particular goal. When it became sustainable development goal, that same ideology fell into goal 3, which is
Mhm.
equitable health for all. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you are a nurse, I want to like beg you, study the sustainable development goals. It mustn't be you walking around goal 3. It might be you walking around goal 2. It might be you walking around sustainable cities. It might be you walking around education. Now, for instance, the
Environment.
last speaker, I've always seen her on social media. We've spoken few times on WhatsApp where she will share her pregnancy tips and all that. That is she providing education. She is a nurse,
Mhm.
all right? Outside the bed space, she's providing education because that is what she's passionate about. It doesn't end with us practicing in the bedside. That is the reason why Ngozi named her book a nurse. A nurse is the clinical setting we are all used to, all right? What we are known by the society as nurses. That is what a nurse in that book is. And more is what the society have never heard of. I was opportuned to speak in a platform in London. I got into the Mandela Washington Fellowship, got a grant under the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. I have gotten a grant to sponsor initiative from the Bill Gates Foundation. These are the things that nurses on a normal day won't do. So sometimes they will say, doctor, how are you? How are you doing? I'll say, I'm not a doctor. I'm a nurse
Doctor,
by
yes,
profession.
nurse.
You understand? Because
Yes.
their mindset is that this is what doctors do on a normal day. You're seeing someone running outreaches in communities. You're seeing someone being sponsored by Bill Gates Foundation. They will say, it must be a doctor that is running this
Doctor.
initiative. These doctors are fine. But my organization are mostly run by nurses and few doctors during our outreaches. So why am I bringing up this? I'm bringing up this telling you that Ngozi tried to let us know that you should differentiate your profession and your passion, then bring it to a point where you will link it together to have that satisfaction that would serve you. First of all, it should be a solution to a problem. That solution would serve you and would serve others. That is what she's trying to explain in her book, A Nurse and More. So it is something that I wish majority of nurses have already gotten that book, because it is a tool. For me, I will call it a tool. I will call it a masterpiece. All right. It is a masterpiece and a guide that nurses should have. So many nurses have already missed the way. So many practicing nurses have already missed the way because they didn't get this information at the onset of their career. I've worked with nurses in their 50s, nurses in their 40s, who are not yet clear about what the profession holds for them. Ngozi would always say that your license is more powerful than you think. You understand? It is very powerful that you yourself, you cannot just imagine. All right. Now, USA, just last week, the nurses in America, they were given the most trusted professionals it has been coming on and off like that. The most trusted professionals. That is because the society, irrespective of what is happening in Nigeria, right? The society generally, once you say you are a nurse, there is this level of integrity, there is this level of respect that goes with it. Now, imagine when you are now a nurse and more. All right? You're not just a nurse, but you are doing so many other things. Come to social media, you're teaching, you're providing content. Come to LinkedIn, your professional page is something that people from outside your environment, which is Nigeria, are recommending. This person is getting it right and all that. And Ngozi happens to be an example. Personally, I envy her LinkedIn page, you get, because she has actually stood out when it comes to the use of social media. That is because she knew what she wants as early as possible. I started seeing her content, that was 2016 or so. Now, the name was actually what got my attention, because she has my son name, she has my two sisters' name. So it was something that actually got my attention. I said, who is this? I started following her up, and she has done marvelously well. So if you've not gotten her book, this is the time to do so. Okay? Now, the 21st century, there are so many challenges. If you practice in Nigeria, you may not be aware of some of these challenges. They are coming up gradually in Nigeria. And one of those challenges is the use of technology. All right? One is the use of technology. Can you still hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you audibly.
Okay, thank you very much. One is the use of technology. In most developed nations, robotics have started rendering nursing care. Artificial intelligence have started rendering nursing care. Now, you have to position yourself in that position where you would either be a manager of this AI or robotics, or you would be in that position where you'll be indispensable in the healthcare setting. Arguably,
Exactly.
nothing can never phase out. In as much as humanity exists, nothing can never phase out. That means you're in the right path. As a nurse, you're in the right path. But that is not what we are actually talking about now. What we are talking about is the more in you. How can you become more than just
No.
a nurse with a license, a nurse that is practicing in a general hospital, a private hospital, a company, and all that? How can you stand out in any setting you find yourself? Ngozi said you should get a passion, link it to the profession, get a motivation to upskill your dream through the career and the passion you have already. Then you monetize it, look for ways to monetize it. Now, this program is streaming live on YouTube. Ngozi can decide to monetize it through her YouTube channel. You get? So look for ways to
Yes, sir.
monetize that passion and gain satisfaction from it. As a nurse, you don't have to be in that position where you'll be in working in the bedside. You've lost satisfaction, you've lost motivation for the profession. Every day is the same routine. You come to the ward, you take your reports, you hand over the same routine every day. That demotivates you quickly, like it makes you burn out. That's why you go to our hospitals, you will see our matrons, they are overweight, right? That's because you know what stress does? It causes obesity, right? They are overweight. That is because they are lacking satisfaction gradually from what they are doing over time. Respect to our matrons, to our ADNS and all that, please. They are lacking the motivation gradually. But when you have a passion tied to this profession, you gain maximum satisfaction. The journey becomes easier. It becomes worthwhile for you. Then we can talk about the recognition you get from it. How many nurses can you think of? If they are mentioning young nurses in Nigeria who are getting it right, how many can you think of? Can you mention yourself, put yourself into that shoe of nurses who are getting it right in Nigeria? Young nurses who are getting it right in Nigeria. Those ahead of us, they may not have done it the way they should have done it to motivate us. But the 21st century is a time for us to change the narrative. The narrative is around technology, which I've talked about, is about providing solutions to communities. My work provides solutions to communities by providing healthcare services to those in remote regions of Nigeria. You can say, okay, your work should be providing maybe educational services, sexual education services to young adults or teenagers in schools. Ngozi mentioned that in her book. She engaged with school kids, with teenagers. They talked about their menstrual hygiene and all that. That is a way to make an impact. It starts by taking little steps, little actions. You don't just wake up one day and be like Obinna Victor Eze, who spoke in London during one Young World Summit. It doesn't happen. I spent years in the local community providing solutions. These guys saw it as something that they can project, and I was invited. All right? So it doesn't just happen overnight. The 21st century nurse should be the person who steps the best foot forward to getting those things that other professionals in the healthcare sector would not want you to access. Be more so that you can access it. You don't need them to give you a seat at that table. Nobody will give you a seat at that table. You need to take that seat yourself. You don't take that seat as a nurse, just a nurse. You don't. You can only take that seat as a nurse and more.
As a nurse and more.
You understand? You can only
Yes,
take
sir.
that seat. Nobody will give you a seat. As far as Nigerian hospitals, Nigerian healthcare system is concerned, nobody will give you a seat in the decision-making platform of the Ministry of Health. You as a nurse, you cannot become the Minister of Health in Nigeria, but you can become so many other things globally that Nigeria would envy you. You can become exceptionally different with World Health Organization, with UNN, with UNICEF, that Nigeria, right? Because these platforms They respect the work you do because you are entirely different. You're not just a nurse. You're that nurse who is helping people in communities. You're that nurse who is providing educational services. You're that nurse who is helping pregnant women to upscale. You're that nurse who is doing so many other things, not just in the bedside, waiting for the CMD to give you an instruction. All right? That is what a nurse and more. Uh, I think
Thank you.
Ngozi should write volume 2 of this book, and I'll be so happy to co-author it with her. Seriously, I'll be very, very
Wow,
happy.
wow,
You
this is
understand? She should write volume 2 of this book. But what I'm trying to say is now is get the book, The Nurse and More. Learn how you can differentiate yourself. It's just a tool, it's just a guideline, it's not just a book. It is a manual. The same way you buy your television and you look for the manual on how to on the buttons. It is a manual. If you're getting into the nursing profession, or maybe you've already gotten it wrong in the nursing profession, it's a manual you would use to guide yourself. Ngozi have already set that platform in the digital space. She's now selling herself to you. This is how I did it. This is the experiences I had. From the point of struggle, from the point of pain, there was no money, there was no fees to pay my school fees, but I was able to get support from a lecturer. Those are practical situations. Got support from a lecturer, which enabled me to scale through. Outside that, despite the struggle, I was able to come out the best in my PTS exams. I was able to enter the profession with confidence. I was able to start up a passion. I was able to start up a let me say, how would I put it, a skill around my passion that has led to me gaining satisfaction, that I have monetized, that has given me a platform to be recognized by not just nurses, by doctors, but doctors. She mentioned a
yes.
doctor who was sponsoring scholarship for nurses, who was sponsoring scholarship for doctors, but contacted her to sponsor scholarship for nurses. That is because she differentiated herself. Ask yourself this question, you now, those watching. What is it you're doing differently? Would you be in any position where someone can trust you with their money, like their money to support others?
Hmm.
We all know the answer anyway. I
Yes.
will answer that for you. But you can change that narrative. You can make yourself different. That is what a nurse and more entails. She gave us
Hmm.
she gave us a narrative, not from a point of someone who is inexperienced, but from a point of someone who has already taken the journey and wants to hold you by the hands to take you through that journey.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir. That was such an amazing, so many things down in my diary. And one of those things that I actually picked from what you said is, as a nurse in the 21st century, you have to be knowledgeable. You have to be up to date, and you have to be skilled with the use of technology and other tools that are available in the 21st century. If you happen to work in a place where there are gadgets, don't wait until there'll be a day, there'll be an emergency, and then you'll be fidgeting. You're in the position to learn it and teach as many people as are around you. So now I would like to also bring, sir, we are still going to bring you up again for the launching proper. So in view of the anti-quackery movement that has been going on for some time, I'd like to, Nurse Adeshua is on board to actually answer that question. For me, as a youth, let me say a youth empowerment advocate, as someone who loves the young people so much, it actually I feel so much odd when I see that many young people are being lured into this practice. And one of the excuses is that there is no money. Let them just start somewhere. Let them just start from the roadside, like I perceive it to be. And with time, they will become nurses, they will go to school. And realize that many at times, majority of them are not able to make progress from there. And to me, we are losing out in both directions. These young people are the future of the nation. They are the future of the healthcare, and they are being lured into this act in a manipulative way. And as nurses, how should we handle this? We are not happy because it does not portray nursing in a good light, and at the same time, because we are also great people that want to impact lives, want to impact these young people. We want to even bring them on board if possible. How should we approach this? How should we preach this message? So especially the women and the young people who have been lured into this in the name of there is no money, they need to feed themselves. And in Nigeria today, there are so many ways people are making money, legitimate ways, at the expense of the health and lives of other people. And then some people being lured into it end up, ending their lives as illiterate and adding to the burden of I don't know, of violence. Mrs. Nurse Adeshua, I want you to lend your voice to this. As I said, 21 settled, because I know it's a major challenge. Do you think we should do as nurses? How should we approach this so that we can have a better future? Thank you so much, ma'am.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, there's a very close call between our discussion this evening and what nurses can do about quackery. What we can do from our own end. During the anti-quackery webinar, because we had a webinar before the campaign started yesterday, the webinar was supposed to sensitize nurses to what we are supposed to do, what we are driving at. So what can nurses do now? Like Nurse Catherine said, Nurse Catherine Olatunji, we had her on the first day, and then we had Nurse Ngozi on day before yesterday. And really, it was an awesome, the two sessions were very awesome. And at the end of the day, most of them talked about nearly similar topics. There's actually nothing nurses can do to run away from this, because like some people will say, we are like the author of our problems. Now that we even started the campaign, there are still some nurses that still have this restriction. They still have this they have reservations concerning sharing the information. Why? Because some of them train these quacks. Some of them are too comfortable with them already. Like Nurse Olasuji said, he said, when you're already too relaxed and too comfortable with seeing them around. Yes, you're a professional. Yes, you went to school of nursing. Yes, you have your BNS, you have your degree. Some of us even have our master's degree. But you are already taking them like bro me, sister me, my egbon me, and then you now feel so comfortable. So they now begin to rub shoulders with you and let you know that since you can do vital signs and I've learned it one way or the other, then I can do vital signs, then I'm the same thing as you. So what we need to do is to actually stand out and scale up and step up. If you don't stand out and scale up, there will be no difference between you and a quack, sincerely speaking, because what the public can see is what they can see. You cannot enter into them and explain us, bring out your license. You can't put your license on your forehead and say, oh, yes, I'm a graduate nurse. It is by, like the Bible says, by your fruits we shall know them. So it is in your stepping out, it's by your being awesome. There's nobody that will see Nurse Obinna speaking now, right here, and question if he's a quack. It doesn't follow. So that is what nurses need to be doing fundamentally, as in foundationally. If you were dressing anyhow before, start ironing your uniform. Iron it. Let it be well pressed. These quacks don't take themselves for granted. But we nurses, with all the book, with all the pathophysiology in your head and everything that you've forced into your brain, you are still looking somehow. No, why? What is wrong with you looking exceptional? What is wrong with you walking exceptional or speaking exceptional? Why should you be at work and start? I'm not saying you should not talk normally. I talk, I play. I can be very, very relaxed, that you'll be like, what's wrong with this woman? But when it's time to be serious, when some of my co-workers see me health educate a patient, they'll be like, no, Sonny, what did do you when you say over serious, like when they speak big grammar? I say it's time for grammar. That's when they will know that, yes, this person is not in the same category. If we are not doing our job, our health education, advocacy, like Nurse Catherine said, see, when it comes to advocacy, that is where patients begin to see the difference between you and a quack. The person they saw at the pharmacy, at the chemist, the people that they went to meet, that is when they begin to measure the two of you and know that this person is the professional. This is who I'm supposed to come to. When the doctor gives prescriptions, when the doctor okay, he doesn't even explain. And see, some doctors are doing their job and doing our job with their jobs. When they see that the nurses around there are not capable, they will have to be the one to sit down and start educating patients. And anytime I come and see such, I feel bad that, oh, the nurse is supposed to be doing this. You're not supposed to come. You see, we are closest to the patient. We can become their Lord and their Savior. That kind of thing. Like, if you get to a level where if you so enter your patient, patients that stay so long in the hospital environment, they've been on admission for maybe 30 days. It can be so bad that if you go off for 7 days, that patient will wait for you and wait to hear your voice and wait to see you step in and discover that, yes, this is who I want to see. This is who I want to see. All the questions he has been gathering for the past 1 week, you've been away. The person will just pour them on you and be like, I've been waiting for this moment. It is where we stand out. Now, when we talk about digital skills, even me, I'm still growing in that area. And I've decided that 2022, I'm going to scale up when it comes to the area I have passion in, content creation, copywriting, you understand? Going in that direction, I have to scale up to be my very best because the world will not wait for you. We have to realize that as you are even right, see, I'm seeing student nurses on LinkedIn doing amazing things. Really amazing things. And I begin to ask myself that when I was in nursing school, would I have been able to combine LinkedIn with what I was doing, with everything I was trying to push into my brain at that time? But these guys are doing well. They are doing amazing. They are getting gigs. They are getting jobs. They are standing out amazingly. In fact, if you see the writing challenge we had last, it was awesome. So that is where we begin to challenge quackery. From our own, apart from telling it to the world that, oh, this is a quack, this is a quack, how will you communicate blatantly, directly to whoever seeing you that you are not a quack, and then pass across an indirect message that that person is a quack? That is when they begin to know who to go to.
Amazing.
If your neighbors, if you stay with your neighbors, if you stay with your friends for some time and they ask you about something and you cannot say it in a way that is professional, they will not come to you another time. So why would somebody not prefer to come to a midwife and go to an obstetrician? When they have an opportunity to experience you, I know that the midwife will break it down for me. She will explain it the way I will understand. They will come to you. This thing, we just need to just make the world, you don't need to stand in their face. Yes, you don't need to stand in their face like, oh, I'm here at yoga. Just where you are, you can make an amazing difference. We need to stop some silly things. There are some very crazy things that we invest our time into, like sitting down with African Magic and watch. Yes, I'm not saying you should not even watch African Magic. When it's time for African, please watch. But when it's time to be serious, no, take it super serious and take it the extra length. If you have to explain, okay, you came to do vital signs, you have gone back to do vital signs, you came again to do vital signs. What is this thing about? It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to sit down and explain that.
Redefine, yes.
Yeah. Explain it, break it down. The patient will be like, really? I didn't know this in this dimension. That is where we begin to stand out, because this thing we call quackery will continue if we don't we need to let the government know that we are amazing. If we don't, nobody will do that for us. Sincerely, because even the people at the government level, some of them are illiterate. They are just glorified illiterates. They just happen. I'm saying a lot of Hausa people that didn't even go to school, and they are just there manning big seats. Some of them don't even know their left from their right. It is we that we make it. See, if you are newly married to a man and he doesn't even know your worth, it is your responsibility to explain it directly and indirectly that I'm worth it in your life. Now, if you are in a system and the government is doing as if making you look irrelevant, putting up community health something 2 years program, 3 credits, 2.5 credits, 1.5 credits, come in and become a nurse, and then want to be claiming that me self I've been also, and really, and you start announcing to all our village people, me self I've been nurse, and you don't know the difference between a quack, you don't know a semi-quack, you don't know a traditional birth attendant. There is no defined difference. It is we that will let the government. I say it's time that nurses start getting to places of authority. Our male nurses, what are you guys doing? Everything should not be about book, then money. Those are the two things they are pursuing. They just want money. But let them get into the political grounds. There are a lot of people that have gone to the UK. If you have plans to come back, get into powerful seats where you can pass bills that will be in support. Where nurses got to now, what we are enjoying now, is it not Miriam? What is this name of this woman that married? As in, what's her name? I can't even remember her name now. Babangida's wife that got us here. Now, if more nurses get to marry, even if you manage to marry a governor, if you manage to marry a president or councillor, even if the person looks irrelevant, make sure that you have used that opportunity to scale up this profession. We should use every opportunity we get, even if that's your area, your little area where you are staying, that all the private hospitals, nobody will dare employ a quack. They will know that madam will come here. They will know that this woman, she will come and scatter this place if we are not careful. Everybody will sit up. See, these doctors that are employing quacks, they just need to find the easy way out, the cheapest way out, cheap labor. That's what they are looking for. If we put it to them that you cannot afford to be sitting on cheap labor, if you cannot afford 50K or 70K or 60K to give to a rental, then close down. It's two options. It's now you pick investing into your business and investing properly, or shutting down. One. And even nurses that are opening clinics, nurses, they should stand it, because we are our own number one problems. And that's why we are not sharing this quackery message, because you know that your husband has a private hospital, you know your brother has a private hospital, you know your uncle has a private hospital, and the place is filled with quacks. Now, if you are sick, if you have a cardiovascular accident and they admit you in that hospital, won't you be afraid that you will die? You will not wake up the next morning, because you know that you are surrounded by quacks. You know in your mind that these people, what did they do me? I feel die. I can just die like that. You come a quack and lose your hand. I want to set line, and if you are good at setting line, if you are very good at setting line, and somebody that is not good handles your hand to want to set line for you, you will feel like crying. It will be so painful.
You feel really bad.
You feel very terrible that this thing I can do what look at it's puncturing and destroying my veins. When I can just get this thing at just one call. Now imagine being attended to a class every day, morning duty, afternoon duty, third duty, and you are going through the same thing again and again and again, all in the name of admission. It's time we spoke up, and enough and more, I believe that it will help a lot of people. I'm sorry.
All right. Thank you very much. I was able to pick up one or two things from what she said. One thing is, it's in our ends. We have to redefine our profession, and it's not by actually engaging in a fight, or maybe, shouting it to the public only. Those things are good, but basically, wherever you are as a nurse, you must stand out, that people be so good that you can't be ignored. As a nurse, that you leave a positive, lasting impression with your patients. Now, when they see you in the market, they are shouting, that was a nurse that saw me the last time I went to the hospital, and they have something good to say about you. It's going to, take a long way to actually change the perception that the public have about nursing. And another thing is, get involved. There is nothing bad in you, because as a person, I only have delayed my TV engagement this year to March, April. I've been having a lot of invitations, and really, I didn't sit back at home to actually, wait for those invitations. I actually went after some of them, and now they're telling me to come as anytime I want. Just come in, come and, they keep calling me. What I'm saying is, there are so many platforms, media, that you can actually leverage and people really know that we are different. We stand out. People tell me, "Oh, I saw you on the TV station." I'm watching because they had to replace some of the session I made last year over and over,
Hmm.
and they want me to come back. So if every nurse in your local environment, if it's radio station, if it's TV station, go there and let them know that there's a difference. You are different. You are
But
a
you
registered
pay now, it's not cheap.
Ma, some of them you don't have to pay, ma. You don't have to pay for some of them. They actually need people to speak. They need people to fill up
Oh.
some spaces. I've never paid for one. The outreach I had last year, October, the TV station covered everything. I didn't pay a single. They provided all the facility we needed. So what I'm saying is we can actually go out there. You can bargain. You know, when you tell them, I can actually fill up these spaces anytime you need me to speak. And they will tell me too, if you need us for anything, please call us. You understand? So it's
That's
something that we can
amazing.
actually do. It's achievable. It's achievable. Another thing is get involved when there is time to make decision. Don't step back and say, "I'm just a female. I'm just a nurse." You're not just a nurse. You are a nurse and more. You have information. You have ideas. You have impact to make. So we have to actually speak up and get involved. And Nurse Obinna said something about integrity. You know, one of the ways to actually check your integrity. See, I once worked in a private hospital, and it was time for their freedom. I was just young from the school. I didn't know that was how it was going to be. It was time for their freedom. Some of them might actually be watching this, and they told me they were going to share money, that I should be part of it. They actually said there was food, and I said I was not going to taste the food. Up to 1 week, 2 weeks, they were saying I made their food to waste. I said it's okay because I can never be part of that. They enveloped money. I told them no. I said I don't take such. It's like you're buying me, you're buying my profession. No, I can't sell out the dignity of my profession. So as a nurse, wherever you
That's
are too,
terrible.
I tell you,
Wow.
you can't be bought with money. People are doing some shitty things, they're doing something that are illegal. You don't want to be a part because you're standing for you are as a 21st century nurse. Integrity is key. And you don't also want to be part of quackery in any way. You don't want to be a party to that. If it is not legal, if it is not, open and truthful, want to be a part of it because you are just undoing yourself and you're selling your heart as a nurse. So it's been a beautiful conversation today as a 21st century nurse. It's in your hand. You have to step up and take your position. Thank you so much, Nurse Adeshwa. I'm so happy. I mean, you brought in the fire. I know you are a woman, and we have been blessed with your impact. We are so grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank
We have
you.
so many people on ground
Thank
today.
you.
Yes. I mean, Nurse Emanuela, so touched. She uses simple languages, sometimes in Pigeon. She passes the message, and people are getting it. She has actually redefined the nursing profession. So she's going to, I think she's around. I've been seeing a comment. She's going to give a little review. She's one of those people who has actually read the book, The Nurse and More. Before the author comes up soon. We're so sorry we are behind schedule. But then Nurse Manuela, if she's around, I want her to come online now to talk to us about the nurse and more, being a nurse who, in her own way, has been doing an amazing job. Oh wow, she's there. Thank you so much, Nurse Manuela. We're so happy to have you on ground.
Thank you. Please kindly
You're
let me
live. We can see
and
you.
okay. Thank you so much.
Wow.
All right. So I spent some days reading the book A Nurse and More. It's a beautiful piece. It's a material that should be in the hand of every nurse. Every nursing student should own a copy of that book because I said something in the post I made yesterday. I said the author's voice will ring in your head and in your ears because from the training we got, from the kind of environment nursing puts you in, you will always have that resonating urge to be more. So a nursing more gives you a manual, it gives you a guideline. You don't go beating about the bush, you don't go looking for a path because a path has already been created. You just need to hold the manual and walk through the path. It's like light coming to everyone who is a nurse. So one of the things Nurse Ngozi mentioned in that book is she said find power circles, and that's one of the things I would like to talk about this evening. Your circle can project you. Your circle recline you. Who are the people you are talking to? What are the things that are coming to your subconsciousness? What are those things you're constantly exposing your gates, your windows to, your mind to? Because it's when you see power nurses, it is when you associate with power nurses that you can be the third or the second or the fourth power nurse. So find a power circle. What is a power circle? It is people with intentionality, people who have a focus, people who have a drive, people with a vision, a mandate to cause change in a specific area. I, for one, I am a midwife, and with my voice and my writing skills, I am lending a voice. I am showing that a message can be passed through this medium. So I have the Peggy Pigeon podcast where I discuss topics relating to maternal and child health in the Nigerian Pigeon. And so far, last year, we emerged as one of the top 35 pregnancy podcasts in the world. It's beautiful because one of the things that I was scared about was the Pigeon English. Now, when you build power circles, if you can find nurses of your kind, say 5, say 10, and they are doing amazing works. Look at the nurses, the caliber of nurses we have, amazing people. Be in that environment. Environment can nurture. It will spur possibilities in your mind. You will want to do more. You will want to stand out. You want to make impact. Another thing she talked about in that book is trust your process. How do you go about your process? You have got to build capacity. And what is capacity? Capacity is your mind, yourself wanting to know more. If you want to make impact in a certain field, you have got to gain knowledge. Now devote time to knowing what it is you are looking at. If you're a midwife like me, what aspect of midwifery do you want to shine your light? Are you coming as a broadcast nurse who is talking about maternal health in rural areas? How do you want to project yourself? I am projecting myself through storytelling. Another person can come through the art part. Now, you have got to gain knowledge. Okay? Find knowledge, build capacity, put in the work. And there's something I say often: put the best foot forward. We know you are starting. We know you want to make impact. We know you want to drive change in this direction. But then give us your best. Don't come out being shabby. You are not a quack. You are a nurse and more. You've got so much. So build knowledge. Don't come out talking about something when you have zero knowledge about it. You cannot come out in public to talk about something and you don't have an idea. You cannot come out as a voice and you don't have knowledge. So if you're putting in effort towards a region, it's got to be smart moves, perfect timing. You have got to put in your best. Build capacity. Another thing I would like to talk about is one of the pointers Nurse Ngozi mentioned. She said, develop a personal plan. Okay? Now, one of the things I think I really was not privileged to do was to map out a plan immediately I left school. I stumbled into what I am doing currently. It was coincidence maybe, but I
Like an
found,
afterthought.
yeah. So if as nursing students you can own this book, it will light your path, it will transport you, you would be 10 years ahead of your peers, because you won't go
Yes.
dating, you won't go trying out different things, you will have direction, because you already know what next you are supposed to do. Who am I supposed to talk to? Who are the people I should permit in my circle? Where, what materials, what sites do I visit? What opportunities do I apply to? Now you have it. It's like a vision. You're looking at it and you're running the race. You're looking at it and you're running the race. So it saves you time, it saves you money. You're not going about buying all the courses that are not relevant for your vision. You are being very strategic and you're being
About
very
it.
focused. Now,
Hmm.
when you have gathered all of this, why won't you shine? Why won't you be a
Of
nurse and
course.
more? Because you've got the vision, the material in your hand, so you will definitely make progress. Um,
Wow. Thank you very much.
yeah, thank you so
You
much.
still have one or two things to say?
No, thank you so much. I think it's
All
fine.
right. Thank you very much. I think one thing was significant
Okay,
or struck me the most out of the things you said is building a power circle. I
okay,
mean, you can't actually outperform better than the people you have in your close circle. You see
yeah,
that they're actually, you know, reinforcing your talent, your skills, and projecting you forward, or they are pushing you down, like you said, making you to decline. It's a two-way thing. So you have to be strategic about the people you let in as a nurse. Like, um, I think it should be 2020 or thereabout. I began to search because I do that a lot. I actually learn about people, study them. If I see someone doing well, I don't draw back
yeah.
or feel bad I'll move. I'll meet them. That was how I met Nurse Hazel Ngozi. I sent her a message on Twitter. I said,
I think.
All right, guys. We're having a little bit of network issues, but I've been following. Like, I'm wowed. Like, I'm really wowed because some of the things that I was discussing with our mommy this morning, and I was like, some of the things, some of the reviews that I got were actually on the things that I thought were minute, were on the things that I thought were, just a background to the main thing I wanted to talk about. I felt like, when I, at the beginning of the book, in fact, the first part of the book is titled In the Beginning, like how I entered into nursing and all that. To me, that was just me trying to give, like a background, right? But then I discovered that most of the reviews that I've gotten so far, most of the people that have reached out to me so far, one of the things that they've hammered on is actually how, from that kind of place, you know, or how what I'm doing now was bettered out of that kind of place. And I'm actually wowed. I was telling Omowunmi this morning, I said, I am actually surprised because for me, I was thinking, oh, the other parts of the book, the later part of the book is the main dish, is the main food. In fact, when I was writing the book initially, I want to give a shout out to Ella Obans. She's a book writing coach. She actually, walked through this journey with me. At those times when I couldn't even write so much, she was like, write so words per day or so pages per day. Try to do this, try to do that. I knew, okay, I wanted to write this, but I had work and so many things were there. So I want to give her a shout out. So when I wrote the book initially and sent her the manuscript, she was like, Ngozi, you have to. There are some people that don't even know about nursing to start with. You have to give us a background. You need to talk to us like you're talking to people that don't even understand anything about nursing, that don't know what nursing is about. There has to be a part where you talk about the background, because I was thinking, oh, my audience are nurses, so I don't want to stress myself. I want to tell nurses something. Let me go straight to the point and let them know what I think we need to know at this point, or what I think the things that I think are essential for this time. And I was really inspired by WHO, declaring 2020 as the year of the nurse and midwife. And that was one of the things that pushed me and sparked me, to actually push more. Like, if the attention is on nurses, then we have to show forth that, yes, we are actually up to, or we are actually worth being the center of attention. All right. So, I was saying something. Ella Barnes was like, Ngozi, you need to give us a picture as if we don't know about nursing. She's not a nurse, actually. So, in fact, working with her, or like me working with her, also gave me a perspective of someone who is not a nurse, how they actually see what we do, how they actually see some of the things that are happening around us. And it gave me some sort of content at that point, too. So, I'm saying, I talked about the fact that I was pushed by WHO declaring 2020 as the year of the nurse and midwife. I mentioned that because of the SDGs. I remember Obinna talking about it, and I was really inspired by that. And these are the kind of things that should stir us up, right? These are the kind of things that should stir us up in line with our passion to push beyond what is normal, to push beyond what we have come to see. I'm going to talk more later. I would want to bring, I think, okay, if her mommy is back, she's going to come back. Yeah, I think there's just one more thing before I come up officially, but I just had to do this. I think her network has some issues. But so I'm just going to continue. If she's back, we'll go back, and then I want to say a very big thank you once more for joining in, everybody. I'm so grateful. I'm just going to go into my session, and if Omowunmi comes back, I think she will now wrap up after me. Well, I want to say a very big thank you to everybody. Like, the fact that I'm listening to all these things, the fact that I've listened to from the beginning, I am greatly inspired. I am greatly touched. I am greatly inspired. Like, I feel the energy, and I'm so excited that this is happening. All right. I want to say thank you to everybody. I'm seeing your comments. I'm seeing that you're viewing from YouTube, from LinkedIn, from Facebook. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Okay, and I want to say thank you to everybody that have been with me through this journey. I heard Obinna saying something about seeing my contents from like 2016 and has been following up. Obinna is a very warm. If everybody that's on this platform right now, like Obinna is a very warm person. Like, we're even talking about it this morning. Myself and Omowunmi. Obinna is a very welcoming person, a very, like, is proactive to act so long as you're talking about, hey, let's do something about nursing. And I love that point that he mentioned about writing a volume 2. I'm going to hold stronger to that, and then we're going to talk about that. So I want to say a very big thank you to everybody that joined in from my WhatsApp community. I am so excited to have you here tonight. And I'm just going to talk about, a nurse and more. Like, um, what do I mean by a nurse and more? Like a little bit of insight into the book. I'm so appreciative of what Nurse Emanuela Ena, you said. In fact, you said so much when you were talking. I was like, I think I'm just going to come up and say this book is launched. Period, because you've said like so much about the book, and I'm so excited. Obinna also mentioned some things like about like I'm so grateful to you guys. Like, I'm grateful. And I want to say very thank you to Adesua Oni. Like, you are an amazing person. I call her tribe leader. I, I call her tribe leader. Adesua Oni is a tribe leader to the core. She's a fire engine, and I love what she does. I want to say very big thank you to you. Basically, everyone that has come to speak today has said what this book is about. And I really want to, I mean, there's nothing like, what can I even say at this point, right? What I can say at this point is you need to feed off that book. Like, you need to get a copy in your hand and really read this book. Okay. So my background has been that of a person who, like, when I was in secondary school, I did not know. Like, I knew that I wanted to be a working class lady. Like, I knew from secondary school that I wanted to carry a portfolio and, go to work in the morning, come back in the evening. Like, I had that idea for myself. But then, because of the situation around me, then because of the condition, the financial state that we were at that time, I did not know how that would be a reality. Like left for me, I would not, like, there was no clear path. In fact, taking jam when I was in secondary school, like SS3, taking jam was not a, I didn't see it coming. Like, I knew that after secondary school, okay, let's know what next, let's know what, because the situation at that time, my dad passed when I was in JS3. Before he passed, he was sick for 7 years. So for that 7 years period, a lot, a lot of, like, everything went into medications. He was sick for 7 years, was hospitalized for about 7 months before he passed. And then I was in GS3. I think a week to my GS3 exams, he passed. And then, so getting to SS3, there was no way. It was just my mom and 5 of us. I want to give a shout out to my siblings. They are here, they're watching. I'm so grateful. I love the bond that we share. And I'm so grateful to God Almighty that I get to do life with you guys as my siblings. I want to say shout out to my mother, who is like, she's an anchor. In fact, I remember when I got admission into nursing school, and we tried looking for money, like asking, and should I even say begging, and there was nothing forthcoming. And I told my mom, I said, can we just forget about this thing? Like, I was in tears, hot. I can still remember how hot that tears was. And I was like, can we just leave it? My mom said, shut up. It was a Sunday. She said, wash your clothes. On Thursday, we're going to that school. We're going to Enugu. I also want to give a shout out to all my relatives, my uncles and my aunties that have shown their love and their support. I am grateful. So at that point when I was in SS3, I never saw, nursing was not even in my, what should I say, was not one of the things that I thought about when I thought about professions, right? So I was privileged to teach in a school for 2 terms before I wrote nursing exams and got admitted. So when I taught in a school, while I was teaching in a school, I loved the job. I loved teaching. I loved the effect that teaching has on children. Like, it was, I think, primary 2, 3, primary 1, 2, 3. I loved how they received and how they put out. I just loved it. And that was where my passion for should I say, knowledge sharing, that was where it came from. I knew that, okay, I loved it, I enjoyed it. It was not as if it was the best job ever, but I enjoyed, I felt like I was talking to minds, and I loved how the words germinated, how the words grew, and what it brought out from these children. And getting to nursing school, I want to say a very big thank you to my then principal, Mrs. Ike, who was not just a principal but also a mother. And getting to nursing school, I just had to give that shout out. Getting to nursing school, we, during PTS, we're having discussions, group discussions, and I started discovering that, okay, this is something that I'm good at. I don't get tired of talking. Like, it's not like I don't get tired of talking, but this is something that I enjoy. Knowledge sharing is very beautiful to me. The concept of knowledge sharing is beautiful to me. So when I left nursing school, I thought about, hey, I feel like going back to see these children. I feel like getting to the classroom once more. I feel like, I loved the energy that came with, and I felt like going back. So I told myself, I said, okay, what can they learn from the me now? I was a secondary school graduate then. I don't have, do they call it O level? And right now that I'm a nurse, what can these children benefit from my knowledge? And one of the things that came to me was the fact that I had some experiences with menstruation, menstrual hygiene, and a whole lot of things like that. And I felt like, okay, this is something I know better now. I know why we menstruate as women. I know the concept. I know, I am more knowledgeable because I am a nurse. I have been taught the anatomy of the woman's, like the reproductive system, and all that. I know the essence of menstruation and all that. I went through a lot of dysmenorrhea when I was a teenager, and it was something else. So I knew why those pains were there, better ways to cope and all that. And I said, okay, fine, this is an amazing, because I thought about myself and I said, when I was in secondary school, how many times did people come to teach me these things? Or when I was in primary school? And I said, okay, fine. This is actually one of the ways that I can reach out. And that was where my journey towards where I am right now started. And that was where I linked and connected my passion to my profession. That was where I meshed it. So in this book, I am urging nurses to another reason, or one of the major reasons why this book is timely and why I am passionate about it, is because of the environment where we find ourselves in Nigeria, in Africa. A lot of nurses I started doing what I was doing online, and I got messages from nurses who were in despair, nurses who were like, hey, I didn't know that this is the nursing that I came into because of the system, right? So I was like, okay, fine. How can you be practicing and be expected to make people feel good, take care of people, and you're mentally drained, you're not happy, you're not satisfied? I mean, it's not the best place to be. So I started growing myself, and I started realizing something. I felt a sense of satisfaction in what I was doing. And I was like, hey, nurses, you can actually have a satisfying career. I know that the environment is toxic, but can you actually wait, pause, right? And then and see the worth in your license. Can you see the worth in your license and really maximize it? Because Omowunmi said something about the fact that there's no TV station that has charged her anything. In fact, they need you to come. I tell nurses every time, I said, you see those schools, those primary schools and secondary schools, they need those, they even need it for their PR sake. Like they need it to even project and say, hey, we have sessions on health every Friday, or you're doing them a lot of good by educating those children. And you are a nurse. You're not just a teacher, like let's say health education or whatever teacher, you are a nurse, right? So when you go to schools, when you show up online, when you use the media to pass information, you're actually doing a lot of good. Okay. I was speaking at Nosadesua mentioned the campaign for anti-quackery, and I was speaking there and I mentioned something about representation, the importance of representation, the fact that um you can come online and see somebody that's doing something and relate with that person. The fact that, let me be practical, the fact that Omowunmi mentioned something, she reached out to me, that was in 2019 or so. The fact that you can come online and see somebody that you can actually reach out to is one of the reasons why we must maximize the power in our license. I think Nurse Emanuela said something. She said she stumbled into what she's doing right now. And when she said that, I just something just came to my mind. I was like, if I actually have the information that is online right now when I was a student, I mean, I wonder where or how far what I'm doing would have gone by now. Because it was not, most of the things that we're seeing right now were not rampant online back then, right? There is actually power. This is one of the reasons why I'm big on social media, right? There is power in the media. There is great power. It has a lot of advantages. Okay, that's one of the reasons why you must be digitally knowledgeable. Obinna mentioned this. Obinna mentioned this. You have to be digitally equipped. You have to equip yourself with digital skills. Because when I was in nursing school, I wouldn't come online and see an event like this where nurses, Nurse Emanuela mentioned something about a power circle, where nurses, in fact, when she mentioned that, I was like, this is one right here, and I'm so excited about it. So you wouldn't come online back then and see something like this open, and you can just join in and connect with people, connect with speakers, connect with other viewers, and all that. It was not rampant. That's the power of representation. People are leaving their footprints down that people to come would see and be inspired to pick up their licenses also and do something. Nosobina mentioned something about his speaking appointment in London. These are pathways that were never there before, or pathways that many people didn't see as being a reality, but it is there now. Somebody has threaded that path. What it means is that if you have passion in something like that, in community mobilization, health education within the community, making sure that the resources are reaching deep down into those rural areas, if you have something, a passion like that, it means that there is somebody that has set the pace for you already. And he's not just doing it and keeping it inside his file in his cupboard at home on his shelf. No, he has come out, and then there is representation for that part. This is one of the reasons why I'm big on social media. He mentioned something about my LinkedIn page, and I was laughing at that point. One of the importance of things like that is representation. Representation. Okay, I also wrote about how some nurses are benefiting from scholarships right now from a connection that saw what I was doing on LinkedIn. And he said, I've been giving scholarships to doctors, but wow, you're giving me another perspective of nursing. I want to sponsor, like, look for nurses that I can give scholarships to. And that was how that door opened. Representation is very important. I think I would want to stop here. I don't know. I'm going to bring Omowunmi up again. I'm just going to wrap up by saying I am so grateful to everybody that has journeyed this path with me till now. I want to give a special shout out to my friend Chidera. She has been an amazing human, an amazing woman, an amazing friend from nursing school. Through the difficulties that I went through and all that, she has been a friend in need and a friend indeed, both emotionally, financially, and everything. I want to say thank you to her mom. She took me as a daughter and her family as a whole. I am so grateful. I want to give a shout out to Nine First, Esu Teaching Hospital. I remember as Nosobina was talking about my PTS experience and all that. I remembered going to the I think the treasurer. That's what they call finance. I remember going to the treasurer because I could not write the main. I wasn't going to write the main exam without, I think there was something, I think a list of, is it toilet or stationaries? So I had to go to, I think she called me, Ngozi and Igbo. Thank you so much, ma. She called me and she was like, okay, we can give you this, settle this when you have, that kind of support that I had, for that warmth and that support from Nife's family. I'm so grateful. And I'm grateful to everyone that have crossed my path. I'm seeing you so far, Lois. Thank you so much. You have been an amazing human. I'm seeing you, Mayowa Popola. I am so appreciative of you. I'm seeing you, Ene Eimoga. I love you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, and everybody that has joined tonight. Thank you so much. I'm going to bring Nurse Omowunmi up, and then we'll just wrap up with the launching part of it. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you. Nurse Omowunmi is trying to join in. If you have any question, please just leave it. Any question for any of the speakers at all, just pop it up in the comment section, and we're going to, even if it's a question about writing a book, okay, because we're talking about representation. Nurse Obinna has written, books, and he has resources. Nurse Adesua has written books. Nurse Obeten. I don't know why Obeten comes to my mouth more now than Emanuela. So when I want to call Nurse Emanuela, I get to do All right. So Nurse Emanuela has also written books. So you're actually with experienced nurses. This is actually my first book. So guys, I'm so grateful that these wonderful authors. I have amazing authors in this session, and I'm feeling fly. So now Emmanuel has also written books, and you can actually ask any question in the comment sections, even about your nursing path. If you're confused about anything, if you think it's something you can put in the open, fine. If you can DM anybody, send a DM. Is one of the things I encourage. One of the things that I wrote about in this book is networking. It is very important. You cannot work alone. You cannot work alone. I've made a mistake out of keeping quiet, like where some of my colleagues were talking about something very important, and I felt, that thing will cost so much money. I don't want to. No. Let me just do my work and go home. And then an opportunity passed me by. It happened that thing was free of charge. So you don't want to keep quiet, please. You want to ask questions. You should ask questions. It's actually very important. I think that we've spent quite some time. And if I see Nurse Omowunmi up now in the studio, I'm just going to bring her up so that we can wrap up. And my heart is so filled with gratitude. I want to thank God Almighty, who is the giver of all things, who is the giver of knowledge, who is the giver of visibility, who is the giver of, a warm circle and everything. I remember in 2020, I prayed for a circle that I wanted. I saw a message by TD Jakes, and he was talking about if I remember the particular term, I'll say it, but it was around being with the right, it was around having the right people in your life. And I was so touched. In fact, when I heard the message, I blasted in tongues. I was like, this is what I need for this season. Because 2020 was a period of stretching and development for me. And I was like, this is what I need. I need help in this season. And I think within that week or the next week, about three techie bros. There are three techie bros came to my DM and said, Ngozi, I want to work with you free of charge. And every time I had techie issues that I didn't know how to handle, I just asked them, and they were telling me what to do. Do this instead, do this on Google, blah, 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 and all those things, And then the other, apart from that, other people that came to my way that were willing to work with me and all that. So you don't want to work alone. You don't want to work alone. I talked about how to network and the kind of people you should have in your circle. It's in that book. You really want to have this book. I have my hard copy. I think before we wrap up, I'm going to show you my copy. I've ordered my copy from Amazon and I have it with me, and I'm so excited. It brought me so much joy. I think I've said so much, and I'll bring Nurse Omowunmi up. Nurse Omowunmi, you are so loving. I appreciate you. Nurse Omowunmi has she's my chairwoman. She has actually carried this entire launch and everything. She wrote the bio. If you go to the back of my book, right, the bio about the book, I just told her, I said, no, Mommy, I need a bio and I need about the book, please, because my head right now is so full. And she was able to deliver. And I really appreciate Mommy. She has spearheaded this project, spread wide the message, connected with people that I've never even thought about. Like, she has brought many people together because of this book launch, and I so appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. I love you, I appreciate you, and you will continue to advance. So I'm going to bring Omowunmi up so that we can wrap up. We'll go to the last session. I think is the last session, but I think she knows best. But I'm going to bring her up so that she continues at this point. Please, if you have any question, you can ask in the comments. Okay, I can see somebody asking a question before Omowunmi is set. Okay, she said, somebody is saying, how can we get the books from other nursing authors too? Please, I want to make this appeal to my guests. Put the links to your books in the comment section, both Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, right? Like on the live video, you can put the links to your books and any other resources that you have in the comment section so that people can access your materials. Nurse Obinna, Nurse Adesua, Nurse Obeten, you can put the resources that you have for nurses on the like in the comment section so that nurses can access them. If you have any question, please, you can actually ask. Without any further question, I think I'm going to go ahead to bring in Nurse Obinna, and then Nurse Omowunmi is going to round up for us. If you have any question, ask. Even if you want to ask specifically to any speaker, please just go ahead and do that. So somebody is saying, please, how can I get soft copies? So I'm also going to put the link to the book in the comment section so that you can actually have that. I'll bring Nurse Omowunmi up. Then, all right, Nurse Omowunmi, carry on.
Thank you so much. It's been a very, very beautiful time. And then we've actually learned a lot of things. And now to see the comments, people are blessed by your story. Oh, thank you so much for calling my attention to that. I'm so sorry. So I said we are moving forward to the launch proper, and I'll be bringing in Mr. Obinna Victor as the chief launcher. He has actually, given us a powerful message the last time he came up, but then he's going to cap it up now with the launching proper. Thank you so much, Mr. Obinna, for staying till this time. We're very grateful.
Okay, it's been a wonderful show, I guess. Okay, now we are here, let me say this is the last business of the day anyway. Hope you guys can hear me. So hope you can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, indicate in the comment section so that I will just continue. If you can hear me, indicate in the comment section, please. Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, we've come to the last part of this show, of this book launch, and it is really awesome celebrating the journey of Ngozi. Each time someone writes a book, it is the person sharing his or her own story, sharing his or her own journey, and it is usually awesome. It is not an easy process. Now, let me shock you guys. I authored my book published my book in 2017. It actually took me a total of 8 years from when I started writing the first word in my book till when I published. I started around 2019 and published in 2017. It took me a total of 8 good years. So book writing process is not easy. It is not something that anyone just wakes up and starts writing and launches the next day, except those who are experts at it. All right. So it is not an easy process. Sometimes you have the ideas, you have different opinions, but it just gets clouded in your memory and you don't know how to let it out. Personally, when I wanted to write my book, someone told me, a friend told me that, why are you writing a book? Why do you want to publish a book? You're not yet an expert in this field. Why are you trying to show yourself? At the end of the day, I didn't listen to his advice. I went ahead and published, and my book was one of the things that stood me apart also. So if you have those ideas in your head, if you have those good messages you want to share, despite the position you are, it is good you share it. Don't like hold yourself back and all that. So it is not an easy process getting a book out. So we just have to encourage Ngozi any way we can to make sure this book fly as far as it can. We've had so many persons coming up to get 10 copies, 20 copies, 5 copies, distributing to colleagues, distributing to School of Nursing and all that. It is awesome. When I heard about it, I was like, this is really good. It's like starting up a movement that would stand the test of time, a movement that would impact on nurses in school, School of Nursing, those who are practicing, those who are coming into the profession, and all that. So I would like to encourage us. This is how we launch it online. If it should be offline, you see someone renting a very big hall, bringing in speakers, singing, calling, inviting so many persons that may not attend, putting people in high table and all that. But this is how we do it online, okay? So I'm trying to urge us, if you can get 4, 5 copies, just a copy to gift out to someone. Valentine is actually coming, which is few days from now, 14th February. It is the right Valentine gift for a student nurse. It is the right Valentine gift for a nurse who is just starting out. It is the right Valentine gift for a nurse who have been practicing but want to get encouragement, want to be more encouraged to keep up with the profession. Okay, Valentine is coming. This is actually the perfect Valentine gift. You can give out 2 copies, 3 copies, 10 copies, 20 copies, based on how your capabilities will let you. Now, personally, as the chief launcher, I will be giving out 5 copies to my students back in Nigeria, to 5 of my students back in Nigeria, to encourage them, to let them know that whilst here, I'm still thinking about them. I'm planning towards their excellence in their academics and all that. So you can also do the same. Wherever you are, whoever you are, even if you're not a nurse, you can support us with this movement. At the end of the day, we will thank God we took this journey and we'll be so grateful we did. This is Obinna Victor Eze, officially launching A Nurse and More by Ngozi Eze Grace. It is a book that would open so many opportunities for you. It is a book that will take you into a journey that would help you progress professionally. Thank you as you put in your best into supporting this movement. Until we see next time. Thank you.
All right. I'm so sorry. We've been having a lot of technical issues. I guess Mr. Obinna has been talking to us about the book, and it's actually time to give back to the book project. It's not enough to know that the book is a good book. What we have on our ends now is how to project the book so it can go as far as possible. It can get to other schools of nursing that we have in Nigeria and outside of the country. That's the project that we have at hand today. And you may be willing to be part of this. Do you want to sponsor 2 copies, 5 copies, 10 copies? As far as you want to, as much as you want to sponsor, the floor is open for you. You may want to sponsor 100, build a better profession for nursing. Because I can imagine if this book gets to the hand of all nursing students in Nigeria, if it gets to all the nursing students in Africa and beyond, I know that in no time at all will be send in your funds to actually support this. We want to actually spread the message. We want it to go far and wide. Some persons have actually sponsored some copies. I mean, if one of us, one of our coaches, our father in nursing, Mr. Okeshola, has paid for 10 copies, free copies for nursing students, and you can also be part of this. 2 copies, 5 copies, 10 copies. The floor is open. So I want the people at the backstage to actually display the account number so that people can pay into the account so that we can make more copies available. By the grace of God, we have a soft copy on seller on Amazon, and it's already in the global community. But then back here in Nigeria, in Africa, we want people to have access to this book. We don't want money to be an issue. We don't want anybody to have an excuse why they cannot have the book. So whatever you can do, you're welcome. And as you can see already, Nurse Obinna already said he would like us to push this forward to have a second edition, and it's going to be amazing, an amazing one. Nurse Adeshua is already saying she's also going to be a part of it. So I'm sure there's something you and I can do to support, this kind of the innumerable problems of humanity
I mean, that's how it starts. If you have extraordinary nurses, they are going to make extraordinary impact. They are going to, it's going to facilitate the achievement of the sustainable development goals. It's going to improve the quality of lives of people. It's going to change our world. And it starts from you and I. So you can support this move. You can support this vision. I personally stepped into this knowing that we can actually do much more as nurses only if you have the right information, only if you have the right tools. So the floor is open. I believe that people are gathering momentum. We want to see dollars, millions of naira coming in so that in the next 6 months, and it's going beyond, breaking barriers and entering into the global space. That's what we desire. So I want you to come on board and be a part of this. I want to believe that the account or YouTube or on WhatsApp, yeah, I want to believe that you're already know we should be hearing the alerts. Yes, because we actually need money to push this forward. For somebody to have actually sat down and crafted this masterpiece, we need to actually support it. We need to actually that she's encouraged. So what is giving me feedback? Yeah, I want to see if the thousands of naira is already coming into our account because we need the money. We need to push this forward. It should not stop with us. I have it, and I feel everybody. In fact, let me just take this time to tell you what one of us said. Nurse Oloye Abiola, I hope I'm correct. That's the founder of the Medical Locum, an organization that provides opportunities for internships, locum jobs, and all that for medical professionals. He got the book and he said that this book should be your second Bible as a nurse. Waking up after reading your Bible if you're a Christian, the next book should be this book, A Nurse and More. And he said that the book should not only be for nurses, that it should also be made open to other people because it's a book that every young person, every young visionary needs in this 21st century. And he said while he was reading that book that he could not hold back his tears. The story of Nurse Eze Ngozi a is such an amazing one. It's such a story that is full of the capacity to actually push men, to push them forward on this course to impact, on this course to excellence. Because against all odds, she rose despite all those limitations. So it's something that is relatable to every young people who has at one time or the other passed through a difficult time, and despite all of those still pushed forward, and they are what they are today. Life is full of ups and downs, it's full of challenges. We are not promised a soft sailing. Yes, we are only promised a safe landing. It's going to be rough on the way, but definitely the end is going to be a beautiful one. It's going to be an amazing one. But then such a book like this should be supported so it can get to the hand of those who have opportunities to go to the internet and probably get some information. But look at those people maybe just coming up in secondary school, prospective nursing students now. And this is one of the ways we can actually enlighten the young people so that they understand how to approach this profession called nursing. This whole concept called nursing. So it's a thing that you and I must rise up to support. I need a feedback from the audience. It's Are we getting the alert already, or we are okay? Yes, I can see that um the account details and the links to actually buy through, it's already been shared across. I can see action. Yes, to encourage our very own nurse who has, despite her busy schedule, activities here and there, sat down to write this book. This book that is capable of transforming and redefining nursing as a profession. I think it's a worthy cause that we need to support. So I want to believe that even it's not going to end right now. We are still going to keep doing that and giving to this project. I personally, I have designed. I'm not sure that yet, but then I'm going to do that. I've designed a 12-point agenda on how to push this project forward. So I know you and I are going to support this. How we're going to researches being attended to by the people who have read these books, how we are going to organize programs to showcase what it means to actually be a nurse and more. I mean, it's going to be an amazing adventure. So we need money to actually push forward. We need money to get this book to the hands of the stakeholders, the people at the ends of affairs, so that this book can get in the nursing profession. I mean, as by now, maybe I would have done much more than I'm doing today. Maybe I would have made much impact. Maybe I would have, done things that would have trained nursing totally, entirely. Yes. So if you and I have this opportunity, we can come together, push ourselves further into the center stage and take what belongs to us as nurses. Not just that, and make the lives of people better. Yeah, that's what we are here for. Thank you so much, Nurse Obina Eze. I mean, we are blessed. We are so happy to have you in our profession. Thank you so much for being part of this beautiful program. We actually wanted to do better than this, but then because of all the issues we had, we want to say we are so sorry. We apologize for that. And then we are grateful for those people who have stayed till now. I have gone in to see some of the comments and we are impressed. We are so grateful for the privilege of having you around. It's a privilege. You could have chosen to stay back at home and then you're here to grace the occasion. We are so happy. Thank you so much, Nurse Obina Eze. I mean, we are blessed. We are so happy to have you in our profession. And sincerely, like I kept on saying for the past 1 week, nursing is in the safe hands. Yes, when I think of people like Nurse Hadeshua, our daddy, Nurse Okeshola, I love to say nurse because it reminds me that no matter how great they are, they are still, nurses, and they are still fighting. I'm so proud to call them nurses as well, even though they are people that fit into many positions, people with with different feathers on their hearts. Yes. So what I want to say is a big thank you to everyone, people that they didn't show up on the show today, but really at the backstage they are doing amazing jobs. They are really helping us to ensure that we get this project done. Thank you so much. The launch team, I mean, it's been a beautiful time working with you all. Our author too, thank you very much for giving back to nursing profession, because you could have kept those knowledge to yourself and use it, and become great. And then while we are just down here, you didn't keep it to yourself. You started from teaching us at your nurse refinery, and you have changed a lot of lives. We are so grateful, and we are so happy to actually work with you and ensure that we touch lives of other nurses and ensure that we are not just far ahead while others are far behind. We want to hold as many hands as possible on this journey of impact, on this journey to excellence. So we are so happy. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of this program. I do have the permission of my coach, yes, my personal coach, yes, Nurse Ede Ngozi. Do I have a permission to end this show? I need a feedback. Okay, I think she has been having some challenges with her network as well. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for being a part of this program. We're so grateful. Thank you so much. We'll be waiting for your feedbacks. We'll be waiting for for your purchase. Yes, as many copies as possible, as you can afford. We'll be ready to provide them. And very soon, the hard copies, people are already buying the hard copies from Amazon, from other countries, the UK, and other countries too. So very soon, it's going to get to your hand in Nigeria. So people are already paying. Don't worry, you get your books in good time. Thank you so much. We are very grateful.
All right, guys, thank you so much. And this is where we'd wrap up. I just wanted to quickly show you guys my hard copy. Like when I got this, I was so excited because it looks so beautiful. Like a lot of people have said, because the cover is so beautiful, it's so amazing. I want to say thank you to Ella Obans. She actually got, me connected with the um the designer that made the cover of the book. The cover of the book is so amazing. Like it's so amazing. And I also want to say thank you to Chief Okeshola Johnson, Jackson, who has been amazing and so warm and so welcoming and so, he has been a leader indeed. And he's that person that if there's anything at all, you can run to him and he would have a solution and have an advice. I really want to say thank you for the support. I am so grateful, sir. Like he has been so open and so supportive. I am so grateful. Yes. I saw some questions. I'm quickly going to answer them and I would end this podcast. So some people are asking about the hard copy. It's going to be out in February and then we'll start distributing. Some people have already bought the hard copy. So if you want hard copy, you can actually purchase now and you get your hard copy once we start distributing in February, okay? The hard copy is 3,500 naira. It's still the pre-order price and the soft copy is 2,000 naira, still pre-order price. So this pre-order price is going to we're going to leave it at these prices till next weekend, okay, so that more nurses can buy it at this rate. I really want nurses to have this book. And like Nurse Omowunmi was saying, I mean, people are of the opinion that it's not just for nurses. It should be open to every other professional, every other young person out there. So that's the information that I'm going to pass. We're going to leave details, all the details that you would need to get your copy. We're going to leave it in the comment section. So You still go through the comment section and yeah, go through the comment sections and you're going to find those information from the other my guests tonight. They're going to drop. I'm going to make sure that they drop links to their materials, their resources, and their books so that you can actually get them. I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. I see you. I see a lot of people from LinkedIn. I see the support. I am so, so grateful. Thank you so much. I see Chief. Let me scroll to it. I see Chief Isaac Ugoji, and he's like, I'm here for my boss. Thank you so much, sir. I am grateful. He's one person that drives and pushes me to go beyond and above, and I really appreciate you. I appreciate Pastor Duce. I can see you. I can see you. I want to say thank you so much for the encouragement, Pastor Duce. You have been an amazing encouragement to me, both spiritually, and I really bless God for you being in my life. I want to say thank you to Coach Shegun Manuel. I see you, sir. I really appreciate you for the many times that you've given me, opportunities, the doors that you've opened to say, hey, Ngozi, speak here, Ngozi, do this and do that. Do this more, do this. I want to say a very big thank you to you, sir. I really appreciate you. I don't feel like ending this, but we have to go to sleep. And then we have to start purchasing too. All right. So thank you so much. So the launch team, wow. Like I am wowed. I am wowed, really. I am wowed. I want to say a very big thank you to you guys. Like every day I see content that wants like I feel like my God, where is this coming from? Like I want to appreciate your efforts. You've done marvelously well. You've put out an amazing program, an amazing project, and I appreciate you a lot. And I know that your reward is huge. I know that it's going to be advancement. You've done this wholeheartedly, like it's very obvious, and I really appreciate you. Thank you so much to everyone that attend. I'm seeing my brothers and my sister are like in the comments. Thank you so so much, guys. I'm really grateful. I'm going to draw the curtain here. Have an amazing night to rest and have an amazing new week. And thank you.